who are here to protect our peaceful protests. Can we please give them a round of applause, guys? I want you guys to know that we all really appreciate your support. We couldn't be here without you. Thanks to everyone for feedback from the speeches last week. I want to answer two main questions, which were, well, who are you guys? And we want action. Everyone here wants action, guys, but we all know it's going to take time. We're all doing everything we can to turn this tide. I promised that we'd all try to stick to 10 minutes per speaker, so here goes. Someone can time me. A quick overview of the group here today, their focus and their efforts to date. I can't speak for everyone involved and who's been amazing getting us this far, but these are the ones David and I have connected with. It's important to say that everything everyone has done since this crisis has started has brought us this far. Along with Josh and Anthony, many of you here today liberated the legislator way back in March. That was something Josh has just talked about. You're the reason that we're gathered here today. The Line, led by Kyle, kindly gave me my first opportunity to speak. They gave me the confidence to share David's research and the crisis that is happening in care homes. Josh, as you all know, the Angry Albertan, our incredible province's Angry Albertan. He's a lion with a bullhorn, but he's actually a pussycat at heart. He runs the Angry Albertan group and page. He also does the live streams, podcasts, and is a social media guru. My husband David is a retired British police officer and researcher. He works in law, privacy and compliance, investigation, and IT. Through David's research, we were so fortunate to meet Dolores Kale, leading molecular biologist and immunologist from Ireland. Dolores is at the front and center of the campaigns that are reaching millions in Berlin, Dublin, and the UK against the government overreach. Please look her up. Check out her roundtable discussion with Rocco Galati on his website. It's an absolute tour de force, guys. She is a leader in this global war. We also share information with Yoram Lass, who is the former Director General of Health for Israel. Almost all of Yoram's material comes to David and I in Hebrew. So anyone who can easily translate between us would be a gift right now. Ilea and her team, who will hopefully be here next week to speak, have been the champions for children and schools. She's worked for months with a letter-writing committee directed at politicians and our government. She is admin for the two Facebook groups, Albertans Against Bill 10, and her newest launch, Protecting the Freedom of Alberta's Children. Please come and ask any of us for more information on these groups. We're just ordinary people. We're no one special. When this started, I said to David that I felt we were like two fish swimming against a tsunami. Like so many of you, we've lost family and friends for daring to question the narrative. Then we came to the legislator and we met all of you. We found energy, positivity, hope. You told us your stories of heartache, job losses, loneliness, worry. But you did something else too. You made us realize we're not alone. A problem shared has become a problem halved. You've given us a determination to push forward, fight harder than we've ever done in our lives. Since I came to the Ledge, I'm amazed by the talent and experience of people I've met here. You're a force to be reckoned with, guys. You're full of great ideas. David and I are no longer two lone fish swimming in circles. We're a school who can turn the tide on these rules. With your help and support, together, we're making a difference here in Edmonton, Alberta, and hopefully beyond. Okay, I've covered who we are and what we do. Many of you come to us at the end of the speeches and you've offered help. There's discussion about flyers, some of which are being handed out today, which is a great idea. Just a word to anyone who's interested. If we distribute anything that isn't absolutely accurate, then we will be targeted and dismissed. To get beyond the noise and be taken seriously, the information we disseminate has to be indisputable. I can only speak for David and I, but we're only interested in the facts. We won't draw anybody in otherwise. Thanks to Franca, Pat, and Lynn, who've already offered us help. They're in the crowd here today. Can they give us a wave? The Angry Albertan would like someone with a huge following on Twitter to send out all of our posts. We'd really appreciate all of you sharing David and Josh's as far and wide as you can. Also, for anybody who hasn't met him yet, remember the name Don Tinordi. His statistics, which are posted on Facebook, are exceptional. He publishes numbers every 2 or 3 days. David's research, which is fully referenced and peer-reviewed, can also be shared. We'd really appreciate it. Ailea's letters for our children in schools can be found on her Facebook pages. We're looking for more speakers, preferably from healthcare, education, business, or law, to take the mic here or talk to Josh on his podcasts. We also need to hear from you with your personal stories and experiences. With all this, we can give Albertans the information they need to make informed decisions about their future and give them the courage to speak out. Last week, we had 2 experts, Chris Schaefer and Ron, from the Stollery Children's Hospital. They educated us in their respected fields. It was amazing. Healthcare professionals across Canada are now speaking out too. Randy Hillier addressed this in Parliament on Wednesday this week. He was questioning the failure rates of PCR testing. 21 doctors have written an open letter to Doug Ford, demanding it's time to do something different. Going back to the F word from last week, please be fearless and friendly, like just as Josh said. Stay on course, give people a balanced view of the facts. Remember, the City of Edmonton bylaw has exemptions that effectively means no one should have to wear a mask.
Right.
Please, everybody watching this video, read the bylaw, look at the exemptions, and ask yourself why they are so wide-ranging if wearing a mask is so critical. Many employees are wearing their masks at the behest of their employers, who themselves are in fear of being shut down. Everything you need to know is that under edmonton.ca/masks. Contrary to popular belief, AHS does not enforce municipal bylaws. If they try, they are in breach of the bylaw themselves. Do not assume that AHS knows what they're doing. Pause for effect. Quite often, even they don't understand the legislation and orders. You are not required to explain your exemption to anyone. Rocco Galati and his team are looking at producing small claims templates for anyone who wishes to file a human rights complaint. Guys, we need to politely assert our rights and freedoms. We cannot live like this forever in fear of a virus. As I've said many times, the suffering and death beyond COVID-19 is already incalculable. I can't imagine what it will be if we continue down this path. Smile and talk to as many people as possible every time you go out. Cashiers, servers, your hairdresser, barber, people you meet on the street, everyone. Tell them about our meetings here or have them connect with us on Facebook or LinkedIn. Be kind to everyone you meet. I'm going to admit I'm guilty at being frustrated with people who are fearful, and of all of them who are not researching for themselves. But as David reminds me, this has been psychological warfare on an epic scale, never witnessed before in the history of humanity. We had one senior health professional tell us this week that it will likely take 2 generations for many people to recover from this. 2 generations, guys. Some people are never going to recover. We need to help people understand what has happened and feel supported so that they can resume their lives in full again. They need accurate information which encourages them to go and do their own research. That way they can make educated decisions based on a balance of facts. We can all overcome this if we know who our enemy is and understand that the real threat we're facing is not this virus. We're all going to need each other at some point in this crisis. For me, that's what it means to say we're all in this together. Actually, I have one exemption to my kindness rule. Global News Edmonton and CTV News Edmonton, who are never here to accurately report this crisis. They're never here to fairly cover our meetings at the legislature. We are tired of their biased reporting and fear-mongering.
Yes, they only show lies. Personal out there.
Our politicians and health officials also need to be held to account. Please comment on every one of their posts. Be polite but pointed. If you're not already on Facebook, join to make this happen. It's the biggest platform, as Josh said, with the widest circulation. We need to use them to full effect. When all this started back in March, I started to comment on their posts and I shared David's research. I'm going to be honest with you, it was like being dumped into a tank of piranhas. There was no support from the public. But I'm seeing a huge change in that. The media's posts are being constantly questioned. The public are tired of lies and of living in a state of constant fear. Jason Kenney and Dina Hinshaw's actions are now under the microscope. Let's make sure they're all put on notice, guys.
Yeah.
We deserve open, balanced and honest debate with and from our government, health officials and the media. That is the only way to restore trust and move forward for the benefit of us all. David and I will be on the square while the march takes place at 3 p.m. If you have any other suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. Did I make it within 10 minutes?
No.
No. Sorry.
Awesome. Awesome.